Hey there, science fans! Today we're diving into the fascinating world of the respiratory system. It's the incredible system in our bodies responsible for, you guessed it, breathing. Every time we inhale, we take in the oxygen our bodies need. Every time we exhale, we release carbon dioxide, which is like our body's exhaust. Pretty cool, right? Imagine your body as a bustling city. It needs a constant supply of energy to keep everything running smoothly. That's where the respiratory system comes in. Just like a power plant provides electricity to a city, the respiratory system provides our bodies with the oxygen we need to create energy. And just like a city needs to get rid of its waste, our bodies need to get rid of carbon dioxide. But that's not all. The respiratory system also helps us to talk, sing, and even laugh. It also protects our bodies from harmful substances in the air. It's a pretty important system, wouldn't you say? So let's take a closer look at how it all works. Now that we know why breathing is so important, let's follow the journey of air as it travels through the respiratory system. It all starts with a deep breath in through our nose or mouth. Think of these as the doorways to our respiratory system. When we breathe in through our nose, tiny hairs and mucus work together to trap dust and other particles, acting like a filter for the air we breathe. Next, the air travels down the trachea, which is also known as the windpipe. Imagine the trachea as a long, flexible tube that connects our nose and mouth to our lungs. The trachea acts like a slide, guiding the air down to our lungs. To keep the airway open, the trachea is surrounded by rings of cartilage. From the trachea, the air enters the bronchi. The bronchi are two tubes that branch off from the trachea and lead to each lung. Picture the bronchi as two branches of a tree, with the trachea as the trunk. Inside the lungs, the bronchi branch out further into smaller tubes called bronchioles. Just like the branches of a tree continue to divide into smaller and smaller twigs. These bronchioles are responsible for delivering air to the alveoli, which are tiny air sacs where the magic of gas exchange takes place. We've talked about the journey of air, but what about the key players in the respiratory system? Let's meet the team. First up, we have the lungs, the stars of the show. These two cone-shaped organs are located in our chest. Their main job is to take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Think of the lungs as two big sponges expanding and contracting with each breath. Next, we have the diaphragm, a dome-shaped muscle located below the lungs. The diaphragm is like the engine of our respiratory system. When it contracts, it flattens out, creating more space in our chest cavity and allowing our lungs to expand and fill with air. When it relaxes, it returns to its dome shape, pushing air out of our lungs. We can't forget the ribs, our bony protectors. These curved bones form a cage around our chest, shielding our lungs and heart from injury. The ribs also play a role in breathing by moving slightly outward and upward when we inhale, further expanding our chest cavity. And lastly, we have the intercostal muscles, which are located between our ribs. These muscles help to expand and contract our chest cavity, assisting with breathing. Think of the intercostal muscles as the helpers of the diaphragm, working together to keep us breathing. The breathing mechanism, inhaling and exhaling. Now that we know the key players, let's take a closer look at the process of breathing. Breathing, also known as respiration, is the process of taking in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. It's a two-part process, inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation, or breathing in, is the active phase of breathing. It's when we actively use our muscles to draw air into our lungs. Remember the diaphragm? When we inhale, the diaphragm contracts and flattens, while the intercostal muscles contract and pull our ribcage upward and outward. This combined effort increases the volume of our chest cavity, creating a lower air pressure inside our lungs compared to the outside air. As a result, air rushes into our lungs to equalize the pressure. Exhalation, or breathing out, is the passive phase of breathing. During exhalation, our muscles relax and the diaphragm returns to its dome shape. The ribcage moves downward and inward, decreasing the volume of our chest cavity. This decrease in volume increases the air pressure inside our lungs, forcing the air out. This continuous cycle of inhalation and exhalation ensures that our bodies receive a constant supply of oxygen and remove carbon dioxide. It's a vital process that happens automatically, without us even having to think about it. Section 5, Fun Facts Amazing Respiratory System. Ready for some amazing facts about our respiratory system? Did you know that we take around 12 to 20 breaths per minute? That's over 17,000 breaths a day. The surface area of our lungs is about the size of a tennis court. That's a lot of space for gas exchange. When we sneeze, Air is forced out of our nose and mouth at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour. That's faster than a cheetah. We lose half a liter of water just by breathing every day. That's why it's important to stay hydrated, especially when we're sick or exercising. The right lung is slightly larger than the left lung to make room for the heart. Section 6. Study tips, mastering the respiratory system. Learning about the respiratory system can be fun and engaging. Here are some tips to help you master this fascinating topic. Use diagrams and models. Visualizing the different parts of the respiratory system and their relationships to each other can be extremely helpful. Try drawing your own diagrams or building a model lung to solidify your understanding. Break down the information. Instead of trying to memorize everything at once, focus on understanding the key concepts one step at a time. Start with the basic functions of the respiratory system, then gradually delve deeper into the specific organs and processes involved. Make connections. Relate the information to real-life examples and applications. For instance, think about how breathing changes during exercise or how different respiratory illnesses affect the body. This will make the learning process more meaningful and memorable. Test your knowledge. Regularly quiz yourself on the different parts of the respiratory system, their functions, and the process of breathing. You can use flashcards, online quizzes, or even create your own test questions. Remember, learning about the human body is an exciting journey. Keep exploring, asking questions, and most importantly, have fun.